Hello and welcome to this crochet tutorial where I will show you how to make this granny diamond round drawstring handbag. You'll see here on the bottom I placed two circular bottoms with a cardboard and crocheted them together. Added our granny diamond pattern, and here we have a drawstring pull with two separate drawstrings with tassels. At the end, if you choose, you can add a shoulder strap of your liking. Here I have added the three colors into a chain stitch. We also have a very nice scalloped edging for the top. Oh, and our bag is lined. Let me show you that. Inside, I've also shown you how to attach a lining so that anything you place in your bag will not fall through the holes of our granny diamond. So, come join me and let's make this granny diamond drawstring handbag together. The materials and the tools that we're going to be using to make this handbag, here I have all the yarn is from Loops and Threads. This is Impeccable. This color is called Rich Orchid. This is Impeccable Bright. The color is Orange Crush. And this is Impeccable Big, which we're not going to be using all of this. And this color is called Aran. We will also be lining our bag. So I purchased a half a yard of fabric. It may be too much, but at least it'll be enough to make sure we have plenty. I have a large eye tapestry needle. The crochet hook is a size 7, 4.50 millimeters, and a pair of scissors. This part will be considered optional, but I'm going to be placing the thickness of 2 pieces of cardboard for the bottom of our bag so that it'll be nice and stiff. Like I said, this is optional. So I'm going to be starting with my darkest color first. And sometimes I like to show you what kind of fun I have when trying to find the center pull. I like using the center pull. So here this time, let's see what kind of frogging we have to do. So what I do is I try to open it up as big as possible and try to find the one that looks like it could be right here in the center. I know my lighting isn't showing everything. Sometimes I get lucky and sometimes I have a mess. So let's see what we got this time. Oh, looks like we're gonna have a mess. So as you can tell, I'm gonna find the center in this glob somewhere. So as I go fishing for it, I had to start you off with a little laugh. So let's go ahead and find the center of our skeins of yarn, and then we're going to put a slip knot on our hook, and then we'll get started. That wasn't too bad. Took me a few minutes just to undo it all. So let's get started. So we have our slip knot on our hook. Let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's slip stitch into the first chain and chain 1. Now into this ring that we've created, we're also going to go over our tail. We're going to place 8 half double crochets. 1, 2. Continue until you have 8 half double crochets. So after we have our 8 half double crochets, let's slip stitch into the first half double crochet and chain 1. In each half double crochet around, we're going to place 2 half double crochets. So the same one that we slip stitched in, let's place 2 half double crochets. The chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Okay, so at the end of this row, you should have 16 half double crochets. So please pause your video and place 2 in each one. So after our 16 half double crochets, slip stitch into the first half double crochet and chain 1. You notice I made my chain just a little bit longer. So in our first one here, we're going to place 2 half double crochets. Our next one will get 1 half double crochet. The next one, 2 half double crochets. This will be our repeat around on this row. So 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet. Continue around. Please pause your video. We should end with the 1, so we're going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet again. And I want you to recognize that we're going to start our building on our row. On the beginning of every row, we're going to start off with the chain 1, 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. Now the last row we had 1, so this row we're going to have 2 singles. So here's 1 and 2. This will be the repeat of this row, 2, 1, 1. So 2 half double crochets in our next stitch, and then half double crochet in this one and the next one. Continue this sequence all the way around of 2 half double crochets in one and 2 singles over the next 2 stitches. I'll meet you at the end of this row. Please pause your video. So at the end of this row, slip stitch into the first half double crochet and chain 1. So as I pointed out, our sequence, you'll notice that every time we increase on our row, we increase the single amount that we need. Always starting our row with 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, or this first stitch that we slip stitched in. So now that we've completed 2 singles, this row will have 3 singles. The next row will have 4 singles. The following row will have 5 and 6. I'm going to encourage you to keep going, and I'll tell you in just a second, thanks to our video, of how many rows that I have completed. Also, I would like for you to take your tail and pull it tight, and then with your needle, even though we did put a slip knot in it, we tightened the circle because it had a little bit of an opening. So go in between the stitching on the back to help secure that tightness. Go through about 4 of them and then go over one, and then go back through the middle, and then over one to help lock that stitch in, and through the center again. Okay, so we have a nice tight center. So increase however large you would like to go. We need to end with an even number of stitches, but I'm going to tell you how many I have completed. So I have completed the size of the bottom that I would like. What I have between both of the 2 half double crochets is 8 singles. That's how large I went up to. So to finish this, I'm going to cut a short tail. I slip stitched into the first half double crochet, and I'm going to pull it through. Now we're going to go ahead and create a second one, so that way we can place the cardboard in the center and have a nice sturdy bottom. Because this is round, if you put weight in it, it'll cause it to cup. So with the cardboard or some sort of stiffening, it'll help it to maintain the circle as we build up on the sides. So please make a second one. After you've created the second one, do not cut the yarn. We will use that to crochet the ends together, but until we get to that point, make a second one and do not cut. So please pause your video and make that second one. So before we crochet the 2 pieces together, what I'd like for you to do is to go ahead and pull out your fabric. This is if you choose to line it, which I strongly encourage you to do, and open it up to one layer of fabric. So place that 1 layer of fabric, doesn't matter if it's right side up or down, and then go ahead and place your circle on top of it. Okay, and then bring your tail up so you don't accidentally cut it. Now we do not need to make a particular pattern or anything, but what I'd like for you to do is to come over about 1/2 inch and cut around your circle. Okay, go all the way around, and then I'll meet you there. Now as you can see, I didn't have exactly straight cuts, so I'm going to show you how to fix that. We'll go ahead and fold it in half, then fold that in half again, and then press it down. Okay, let's fold it in half one more time so we have this nice triangular shape. Okay, and you can see where your ends are. Some of them are all the same length and some are a little shorter. So we're going to go ahead and just trim it off. And this will help relieve any anxiety of whether we have a nice circle or not. And that looks a lot better. I need to iron it out. Okay, so here we have our liner for our purse or our little handbag. And then we're going to need a smaller one here for our cardboard insert. So for the pattern we're going to use for the cardboard, I got some paper here. I'm going to fold it long ways, and then fold it in half, and we're going to try and achieve the same look that we had with our fabric here. Okay, and then we'll fold it again to have that triangle look. Okay, then we're going to place this on top of the paper so that it lines up where it's supposed to. The 2 points line up correctly. Then remember, I'm using a felt tip marker only for the video so that you can see this. I'm going to go ahead and mark the exact same thing from the liner bottom, and you can see here this is what we have, but we want to eliminate about a 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch. So we want to come in here and make it just a little bit smaller, so we won't need this line right here. Okay, then with the scissors, okay, and then we want to line it up. Okay, now I'm finding that it's still too big. So the easy part about this is that we can refold it. Place our point here in the center and find out that we want to come about halfway into the side of that half double crochet last row. So I'm going to come over here and find out that according to the piece that I cut out, I actually cut out enough for the liner, but the cardboard insert obviously is going to be a lot different. Okay, so here I got this. Let's go ahead and cut it out. Now remember, this is totally optional. If you choose you do not want to insert the cardboard liner, that's up to you. Okay, so here we have a little bit smaller circle, which is what we're looking for. Okay, because when we crochet this last row and then have to insert the cardboard in here, we want to make sure that we can at least get to these stitches like we need to. Alright, then I will take this pattern and I will place it on top of my cardboard, draw around it, and cut it out. I'm cutting out 2 cardboard pieces, so go ahead and do that, and that'll prepare for the base. Like I said, this is optional. The liner is optional as well, but if you choose not to do that, I'll put a time on the video of where you can delete all of this stuff and how we will start on our first row working up the sides of the bag. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes after you complete this, and the second. So please pause your video. So welcome back. I know it's only been a few seconds. Well, for about an hour for me. So I've completed the 2, and I have my 2 discs. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the right side, face it down, place our cardboard here, or let's get started first. Remember, I told you don't cut the second one. So I'm not going to line it up exactly where I stopped off on the other one. I want to stagger it. So let's go ahead and chain 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to join stitch for stitch together. So I'm going to do half double crochets. So I'm going to go into that first one that we put the slip stitch into, and I'm going to go over here to the other side, pick up both stitches, and I'm going to complete a half double crochet. I'm going to place 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Now when I get to the point of where the hole opening is going to be kind of tight, I'm going to place these in here and then continue with the half double crochets all the way to the end of the row, where I will slip stitch together to the first row. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you there. Alright, so as I was going through this, it kind of dawned on me that I should bring it to your attention. So what I did was, I'm up here, I stopped here and I started here. So I have this nice little opening here, and I have my cardboard. This one has ink on it, so I'm putting the ink in the middle. I'm going ahead and sliding these in so that they have a nice snug fit. And then I'm stretching it over it just a little tiny bit, and then I'm going to continue on. So one stitch, whoops, bring it on down. Let's see, I stopped here, so I'm going to go into this one next. That's easy enough, huh? All right, carry on. I'll meet you right here. Alrighty, so here I am at I completed the last one. So I'm going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet. We're going to chain one again. Now I'd like for you to have the right side facing as the outside of your bag. So we're going to add a back post double crochet, half double crochet to each one of these, and this is going to help start the first row of our sides. What it's going to do is it's going to pull the sides this direction after we've completed this right here. So one back post per half double crochet that we did to close the hole, go all the way around, slip stitch closed, and we will start the pattern of our sides of our bag. I have slip stitched into the first back post half double crochet. You can see how we have a nice little chain look on the outside, and the lip starting the sides of our bag. So let's carry on. Let's chain 3, and in the same stitch 2 double crochet. Chain 1, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth one 3 double crochet. And chain 1. We're going to continue this all the way around, skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth one 3 double crochet, and then chain 1. So continue this all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So at the end of this first row, you need to have an even number of the 3 double crochets. If you have an odd number of these groups of 3 double crochets, the pattern will not work out right. Here I originally had 80 stitches. Okay, so when we skipped, we went, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and so on. So I have 20 of these 3 double crochets, skipping 3 stitches in between. So let me come up a little closer. I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this row, and in the next row we're going to be adding our second color. So to finish this row and every row that we do in the making of this bag, we're going to do a half double crochet into that first the top of the chain 3. So the first cluster that we have here. So complete a half double crochet. Notice how it puts us over here. I'm right-handed, so it's going to put me here on the right side. Chain 3 and place 2 double crochets next to that. The chain 3 does count as 1 double crochet. All right, so the next thing we want to do is chain 1. So the second color I'm going to use is orange. I spared you from the yarn issue. Yeah, it was all twisted up. All right, so we got a nice little tail here. Pull it through. Then take this one and snug it down. Okay, and then chain 1. Okay, so tighten that back down. Notice how the chain 1 will be that separation between this cluster here and our next cluster. So our the purple that I'm using right here will be in the background, but I want to show you how I have figured out how to make it so that this does not show down in here. So we're going to do 1 double crochet. We're not picking up any of the tails here, so do 1 double crochet. Okay, in the next double crochet, go ahead and go over your tails, and into the third double crochet, do not go over the tails. It may sound baffling right now, but what's going to happen is you see how it's starting to pull it up? So when the second row comes by, what it's actually going to do is it's going to pull up onto the stitch so that you can't see it on the inside. All right, so I'm going to leave this tail here. We'll weave that in later. So after we've completed the last of these double crochets, we're going to chain 1 and pull down on that last part of the chain right here. So chain 1 and then pull that down. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but this time with the purple color. So 1 double crochet, now we're going to carry our tail, so the second double crochet, and then 1 double crochet, not picking up the tail. So pull the tail out of the way. Okay, then we're going to go back to the orange color and pull it through that loop. Okay, and then pull that one down, fix your chain, and chain 1. And we're going to continue this all the way around. Now you're going to find out the next row is going to be different than this row here. So bear with me and you'll see when the next row on top is going to come and bury all of these tails from behind. You see how it's starting to pull up like this already? And that's what we're trying to achieve. So go ahead and do this around. One purple, one orange, one purple, one orange, all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Now we have a nice collection of colors here. So at the end of this row, we're going to cut the purple yarn, leave a long enough tail so that we can weave it in later. And we're going to finish this row the same way we finished the other row. Half double crochet in the top of the chain 3, chain 3, 2 double crochets next to that chain 3. Okay, chain 1. Now here's where the way that we did the catching of the tail behind just the one is going to start showing the results we'll have. So in the next chain 1 space, 3 double crochet. Now you're going to go under. You can see the short tail right here. Go under all of this and place 3 double crochet into this area. Now as you go around, you don't want it to show, so come from behind as you do this and pull it up just a little in case it does show. Chain 1. Now remember, this was the beginning of the row, so we had a little extra bulk here. Okay, if you want, you can pull this tail up from the beginning of that row, and this whole row is going to be orange. We're not doing any color changes. So we chained 1, go under that tail, and 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. And chain 1. Okay, see how we don't see the carrying of the colors because they have been pulled up behind those stitches there. Okay, I can carry the orange tail from the beginning of the row again, and here we have the purple carry. So 3 double crochet, and chain 1. Now this, I'm just going to leave that there and drop it behind, and then we're going to continue all the way around with the orange color. And then chain 1. So this whole row will be orange. I'll meet you back here where we will finish with the half double crochet, and we'll start our new row. So here we are at the end of the row. I'm going to half double crochet this closed, chain 3, and 2 double crochet next to that chain 3. All right, so this row we're going to add a new color. So the color I'm going to add now is our Aran color here. Now I wanted to point out something to you on this. You'll notice that when we create this, we're going to create these little diamonds. If when you go up the next row and it does not match the same color down below, then your pattern will be off. This one right here, the orange should be right here. That means that right here should be a different color. So we're going to add the yarn the same way we did from before. But I did find something a little bit easier. If you add it through and then chain one and then tighten it down, you'll already have your chain one. Alright, so let's go ahead and double crochet in the next chain one space. We're going to pick up both of these, okay, let them fall behind, and then double crochet in the back there. Okay, so it's only, the tails are only in that one right there. Okay, so after we've completed that, let's pick up the orange. I went through one, chain one, let's tighten the white. Okay, place that from behind. One double crochet, we can pull our tail across, or the yarn that we're going to carry, double crochet, and then double crochet okay, so you see our little diamond pattern here, just like we have this one right here. We'll see more of the pattern as we add more rows. So let's change our color. And we are going to continue these two color sequence this row of the white and the orange. So carry on around and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Make sure you have your orange that looks like the little diamond here. The white was the last of my row. You can see my diamonds. Half double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochets. This row will be all of this Aran color, and remember to pull up your tails from the previous row. Chain 1 in between each of the group of 3 double crochets. Continue around, end the row with a half double crochet, chain 3 of the same color, and we will start our next row with the purple and the white. So can you see our diamonds for sure now? Starting up on our new row, making sure that this one is above this one. So this row we're going to add purple, or if you choose to add a different color, then the choice is yours. This would make a perfect scrap basket. I did want to point out that the colors, we're going to use white as the example. We'll go for 1, 2, and 3 rows, just as you see here with the orange. 1, 2, and 3 rows. So if you use it as a scrap project, just make sure you have enough yarn to cover these 3 rows. That way you can maintain the same coloring if you choose to do that. I can't imagine what it would look like in an ombre, but I'm sure it would look really nice. So here I'm going to add the purple. And we're going to continue on. Purple, white, purple, white. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our purple. Whoops, I tightened up the wrong color here. So we have our chain 1. Let's do this row. Remembering in the middle ones of the 3 double crochet, that will be the ones that carry the color. The other 2, the first and third, don't. Oops, we're changing our color. So continue to do this all the way around. When you get to the end of the row, the next row will be right here, and then right here is where you will repeat the same coloring. So the next row here is purple, and then that next row will be this color, and then the orange, and then these 2, then the white, and then these 2, and then the purple. So continue on. I'm going to just show you this. Stop it right here, but remember to start right here. And you're going to make it however tall you would like. We may repeat this once or twice, depending on however long you would like for your bag to be. And then we will have our finishing row. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you there. I have completed a total of 19 rows, and I stopped up here at the same color I started with down here. So to finish this row, we're still going to do the half double crochet, chain 3, and 2 half double crochets in the same space. We're going to continue on with a total of 3 more rows using just this color here, and then we'll be ready to add our edging. So continue on with this, and I'll see you at the end of your 3 rows. So I've completed the 3 rows, and what we're going to do now is we're going to add an edging to give it the final look. So we're going to use the 2 colors that we didn't use in these last 3 rows. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and start the half double crochet, drop the purple yarn, and finish it off with the orange yarn. I'm going to chain 3 and go over your tails and 2 double crochet. Chain 3, and into the last double crochet, 3 double crochets. Well, actually just the 2. I was wrong. Chain 3. We'll do this again. 2 double crochets on the last double crochet. We're going to do it one more time. Chain 3 and 2 double crochets in the last double crochet. Okay, so we have a nice little scallop here. We're going to skip the first between the 2 3 double crochets, and we're going to go to the second, chain 1, and place a single crochet. Enlarge your loop, and you can see here what we have. Then we're going to start our white, place a slip knot on our hook, and in that open, we started here, so in that first open chain 1, start with a standing single crochet and chain 2. In the same space, 2 double crochet, and now we're going to repeat what we did for this here. Chain 3, 2 double crochet over the last double crochet, chain 3. Okay, remember we're going to do this for a total of 4 times. Okay, so this one's number 3, chain 3, this one would be number 4. 2 double crochet. Oops, see my yarn tangled up on me. All right, let's untangle this. Okay, so before we bring this one over to that next chain 1, we want to bring all the yarn here forward, and then single crochet and enlarge your loop. So this is what we're starting on, is a loop over border. Okay, so now let's pick up our loop. We're going to push all of the work behind us, chain 2, and in that chain 1 space, 2 double crochet. Chain 3. All right, so what I'm basically showing you is what we have just done. I've shown you twice. So we want to do this for a total of 3 or 4 rises. So here I'm on number 3. This one's number 4. Okay, so before we bring that over, we want to bring all the work from the previous color and bring it forward, and then single crochet into that next space and enlarge the loop. Okay, let me show you one more time, and then I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and go all the way around. Okay, so I have 2. with my yarn today. Okay, so sometimes that happens. Okay, I got 3. This is number 4. Okay, so bring your colors forward, take your work and push it to the back, single crochet in the next one. So continue all the way around, and I'll show you how to finish it. So do you like the nice touch it added? I thought it was cute. Okay, so I'm on my last scallop. Of course, we started with our orange, and we're going to end with the orange. So after the last double crochet, we're going to come down here and slip stitch into the first section here. And then to secure it, I'm going to go up into that single crochet and secure it, or slip stitch it again. And then I've cut my yarn and pull it through. Okay, and then I still have my last one to do. All right, so for the last one, what we're going to have to do, enlarge the loop on the last double crochet. You're going to have to go behind, like so. Let's get your other tails out of the way. I've already cut my yarn, make it easier. Then I'm going to slip stitch into that first chain 1 and then slip stitch into the single crochet. And that'll make our loops look continuous. Of course, we're going to weave in our ends. So let's go ahead and do our drawstring, and then we also have our liner for the side to do. I'm going to be putting tassels on the end of mine, so I'm going to leave a longer tail to tie the tassel in. I'm going to make one out of white and one out of orange. So we're going to start with a chain. And you want to make the chain so that it will go here and come back and have maybe 3 or 4 inches longer on the end so that you can have a little bit hanging over. I'll tell you in just a second how many chains I did. So I'm starting my second one. My first one had 110 chains. So my second color, I'm using the orange. I'm going to do the exact same thing. 110 chains. Alright, so I have my bag in half. So I'm going to determine that this is going to be the opening and closing of one end, and this other end will be the opening and closing of another end. So I'm going to take one of my yarns and I'm going to thread it through my needle. You can use your crochet hook if you choose. Okay, so I'm going down to the third one from our border. So I'm going to go under 2 and over 2. Okay, so yeah, it will be kind of a long draw, but it'll be just fine. Okay, you see how we pull it through? So over 2 and under 2. If you have it too close together, it'll cause the strings over a period of time to fray. Okay, so here we have our opening here. And I'm going to take the two ends and place a knot on the end. Okay, so now that I have my halfway mark here, I'm going to do the same thing with the white. I will start here and basically go opposite of what I did. All right, so I'm going to go down. See how I do the opposite? Okay. And this is where our tassel ends, but we're going to keep going around for that orange color. There we go. So I'll join these two together. Alright, so if we have to pull, this is what we have. A nice little scalloped edge. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you what you need for the side liner. Because of the holes in the pattern, we don't want nothing to fall through. Alright, so I'm going to take the long end of my fabric and it's going to go this direction. Okay, so we want to include a 1/2 inch for the fold down, and we want to bring it down here to the bottom of the bag and include a 1/2 inch for the sewing. Where I'm going to sew it is on the line of the white. I'm going to use white thread to sew it down along here. So I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch above it, come down here to the bottom and a 1/2 inch below. I'm going to go ahead and cut across. Now, how much do I need around? I'll lay it flat and give myself a little bit extra. Go across. Fold it in half. And in this case, you always want to have a little bit more. So even though I call for right here, I'm going to add another inch to make sure that I have enough, because sometimes crocheting can stretch. Fabric doesn't stretch that well. Okay, so go ahead and cut a straight line down, and we should have a long rectangle when we're finished. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew this down. Once I have a tube, I'm going to take out my circle and I'm going to sew it on here. If you find that you have more fabric that'll go around that circle, just tuck it every so often as needed so that it will fit your circle. Let's go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in a few minutes. So after sewing up the side and the circle for the bottom, I've folded over my 1/2 inch or so and lined it up with the white line to go around. That'll make it an easy way to follow, to make sure that you're straight as well as following the same color line. So I'm going to do that all the way around. And then I'm going to use a whip stitch which I'll show you how to do here just in a second. So I have my needle threaded with a single strand, and I'm going to go ahead and insert it into the fabric and then go around a few of the stitches. And this is what's known as your basic hem or whip stitch. Just go in, pick up a few, come across the bottom, so you can see how it goes at an angle. Go ahead and do that all the way around, and then I'll show you how I'm going to put the tassels on the drawstring, and then we will be able to enjoy our handbag. You notice how sometimes the thread likes to get caught up around the pins. We'll do that, and we'll do the tassels in just a second. As you can see here, I made a really simple tassel, so I'm going to show you how I did it. I used all 3 of my colors, and I just wrapped it around my hand 5 times. Okay, I found the beginning and the end. And then I'm going to take where the beginning and the end are and cut down here. Okay, and then, like I said, this is super simple. Just take it and wrap it over. Line up your ends down here. Then I'm going to take these and wrap it around so that I get a nice little pull here. Like so. And then I'm going to take one of them and wrap it all the way around, and then place a square knot on the finish. Okay, bring everything down so that it's even, and cut it off. So here I have a nice little tassel on the end. So I have one for each side. I have one more option for you. Otherwise, this does complete our bag. You may want to add a handle here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So here I'm going to raise my, let me change everything around a little here. So here you can see I have my collection of hooks. So I'm going to grab out a bigger hook. This one is an 8.0 millimeter. And I got all 3 of my colors. I'm going to leave a long enough tail so that I can tie it in to the bag, and then I'm just going to make a chain stitch. The chain is actually going to depend on how long you prefer to make your handle. It may be short, it may be a shoulder strap, it may be a crossbody, whichever you choose. So this is what I'm doing, using a larger hook to create a chain stitch. So continue to the length that you would like to have. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to tie mine into the side of the bag. So to attach these straps, you want to go where the drawstring on one side has the opening and on the other side that has the opening. So we're going to come up here, go straight up, I think I'm going to pull mine from the inside. So I'm going to go from behind, wrap it around, and then just basically tie it off on the inside. You want to try and bring it the knot as close as possible. Okay, and once you do that, you want to weave in your ends. I'm just going to tuck it inside for right now, and then take it to the other side. Try to make sure it's not too twisted. To the opening at the other side, and do the same thing. So I hope you enjoyed the making of this little circular drawstring tote bag. I had fun making it. I love the pattern, using the granny concept, and I think it'll be a really nice way to carry things around, either for the summer or for whatever you choose to use it for. I'm just going to stick those drawstrings in there. Okay, so here I have a nice little handle to close my bag. Just take both ends and pull. Of course, it's on its side, but we have our nice little firm bottom with the cardboard in it. A nice little diamond pattern, a little scalloped edge, nice closures with a drawstring, and our strap. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me. I hope you make it and share it with me. I do have a Facebook page, Garnet is a Jewel. Come join me there. Till next time. Bye-bye.